Hi everyone, this is Obianchi Chidozie and you're welcome to A to Z Psychology with Obianchi Chidozie. So we are not only doing psychology courses, we are also doing some related courses that as a student of psychology or from another department, you may be needing some of those courses. Like today, we are going to be doing Sociology 221, Criminology and Penology. So, without wasting our time, we will dive into the course, trying to do everything that it takes for you as a student of psychology or any other department to have a success in the course. This course is a 3-unit load for universities like University of Nigeria, Nsukka, and other related universities, right? So, please remember to subscribe and like and comment to encourage us, please. So, we will start immediately. What is criminology? Criminology, we are going to be looking at criminology from 3 different perspectives, right? So, it is the study of crime, right? In other words, at the center of this course is all about crime. Who committed crime, to whom it was committed, what is the consequences, and what will be done to the person that committed crime. And at the last, we also look at the fate of the person the crime was committed, the victim, right? So without trying to explain and talk a lot, we'll just go through it. So as we said, at the center of this course, we are having crime, right? So you see that a lot of things we're going to be talking about is about crime. So crime from the Greek word crimen, meaning offense or default, right? Offense here. So we are looking at what is crime in 3 different perspectives. Yes, we have the legalistic perspective. The legalistic perspective, I call the traditional perspective. Yes, they saw crime as when you default or break the constitution, the law, a break of law, breaking the criminal law and all of those things is crime. That is where you see people like Jeremy Michael and Mortimer Adler. And as you know, I always want to remind that this is an objective exam, so you'll be interested to note some things we are pointing out, both the names and their theme and what they are just trying to say. So legalistic approach or the traditional approach see crime as a break of law. When you break the law, then you have committed crime. As simple as that. And I called names there, Jeremy Michael, Mortimer Adler, they are there. So, the next perspective is sociological approach or perspective. And that is where Thorstein Salem is one of the proponents there. So sociological approach, if you hear the name sociology, society and every other thing, so you see that they are talking about crime as, or they are seeing crime as when there is a deviation from conduct norm. So under sociological perspective, we have conduct norms like the folkways, the mores. From the mores, you see the law, right? So you see that folkway, if you sit in an exam, you should know that is the lowest aspect of the expectations in society. You know, that has to do with when you needed to greet somebody, okay, you need to greet sir, and then you bow down, depending on the culture of the society and everything, like Yoruba persons or the tribe, you need to go down flat and every other thing. All those are folkways. So in sociological approach, they capture those things as crime. They define crime both from folkway level, the mores, this one are higher than the folkways, then to the law, even the one in constitution. Whereas legalistic approach only saw breaking of law as crime. As you know, you are not going to be charged as a criminal when you deviate from societal ways and everything. But sociological approach see all of them as a crime. Yes. So you see, among these two approaches, that they have their problems or limitations. The legalistic approach, although you will say, since they are looking at only the one under the law, that one of the limitations will be under criminalization. But you see, that's one. But secondly, they also have problem of over criminalization. Under criminalization, because there are some that are not captured under the law or constitution, and once it's not there, it's no longer a crime. And among the ones in the constitution, you also see that there are some behavior that they have criminalized, not necessarily supposed to be a criminal behavior, but because it's under constitution, it's already there. As a matter of fact, for example, when you don't have enough to pay your tax, when the constitution has warranted you do that, it should be a crime. Okay, and nobody is there to treat your emotions or anything to understand why you do not pay and everything. So that is for those aspects. And then the last one is the feminist approach or perspective. This is where we say that crime is when you is those behavior that undermine the weak persons in the society, the undermining or good. This is the right word. I'm looking for a word. Truncating, but that's not the one I'm looking for. Truncating human rights, break of human rights, abusing human rights, undermining human rights, the dignity of man and everything. So, like the elderly, like the people with disability, like the children, like the women, right? When the women, their rights are not protected, that is crime. When you take advantage because she's a woman, because she's a child, because she's a person with disability, and their rights are not protected, or an elderly, these are people that can be marginalized in society because they are from the minority tribe and everything. So anything against their rights at this situation is regarded as crime according to the feminist perspective. So quickly, that is the trait we are going to be talking about. So we are going to be now looking at what makes a behavior a crime. Before you say a behavior this is a criminal behavior, there are things that must be involved. About 7 things that must be involved. First, you will be looking at, one, there must be a harm caused, whether emotionally, physically, or psychologically, otherwise there must be a harm. Secondly, that behavior must have been a behavior that has been prohibited in the society and you still engaged in it. That is the second one. Once it is prohibited and you still engage in such behavior, we'll refer to it as crime. The third one is actus reus. We call it actus reus. Actus reus means reckless behavior. It is quite a reckless behavior. And the fourth one is mens rea. Mens rea is criminal intent. So meaning that there is a criminal intent towards that reckless behavior or prohibited behavior that have caused harm that you engaged in. The fifth is coincidence. Coincidence in the sense that is coincidence between 3 and 4. Yes. Coincidence, the reckless behavior. Oh, you did it. Oh, sorry, I'm sorry. That is just reckless, but it is not a crime until there is mens rea, a bad intent to do that. That is why you see some people that can jump on your leg and after saying sorry and they go far, before you know where you are, your phone is no longer there, right? So that is the coincidence that must be involved. So that is reckless behavior, actus reus, mens rea, criminal intent, and there must be a coincidence. So, and then we are saying that the sixth one, there must be a causal relationship, that this your behavior is the reason that causes harm. And then the last one, it will have a punishment that will come with it. Yes, that is the conditions for you to say this is a criminal behavior. And we'll continue in our next video to discuss other things concerning this course. We'll want to do from A to Z, because that is our mantra. We'll look at everything you need to have an excellent result in this exam. Thank you very much.